march up the hill, and I mean march, my car's down there. The wind is interesting, shall we say. The wind was meant to drop by now. Neo, how you doing? Stormy, Jamie, you alright? Little Ridge Farm, how you doing? Good morning. So it's a little bit wild, so I decided to march up the hill as quick as I could, which is fun, not, to get most of the way up to the Heartstones. Now, I've had you up here in spring, I've had you up in here in summer, and today they were calling my name again. So, you alright, Jamie? I just had to come back up, show you the moors in winter. T-Ref, how you doing? T-Ref, we was up on top of the moors, in the wind, hiding against a stone wall at the minute. Little Ridge Farm, this place, when we get to the top, you'll see why I love it and why I come here. There's some cairns. Now, local legend is a local started building them. You alright, Kirsty? And walkers add to them. The cairns are basically a pile of rocks, and you can see them for miles. There's new ones being started. You alright, Angela? Lost Fair, how you doing? And I love it. I absolutely love it up here. I've seen a few grouse on the way up, but I've had head down into the wind, grinding it up this hill because it's steep. So you've got out to sea, and that way you've got Scotland over the horizon over there. Cass, how you doing? And you've got Northumberland over that way. Mr. Choco, thank you very much for coming in. How are you? Sazzy and Dale. Little bit, honestly, it's not actually that far from home, but where I am, it's really rural. See, sat on a stone wall. I tried to grab the worst bit of the part of the wind out. Yeah, Kirsty, I've seen. 265. Hemi, how you doing, Hemi? Nice one, thanks for coming in. So I'll apologise now for the wind as we get onto this little bit. And we're going to dip down into the valley, and it should calm down. Becca, how you doing? Johnny, you alright? So, we have the Lake District Mountains in the background over that way, and sea that way. Little bit, that's exactly where I come up here. I struggle a lot with anxiety, and it helps hugely being out and about. Hopefully that's not, wind's not too bad for you. I tried to get the majority of it done, so I'm a little bit late. It took my legs a little while to wake up because that is steep. And the ground is very wet. Ooh, ground's very wet. Right, let's keep going. Grouse. Just flying down, so we've got more grouse sat on the hill just there. How you doing, Stormy? Warrior Princess, thank you for coming in. Right. Once we get over the top and dip down the valley, we'll have the wind at our backs. Ron, how you doing? Hopefully there's no cows when I get up to the cairns over this ridge. If there is, I'll cry. This is the storm meant to have eased off. And it's almost pushing me over. Sheena, how you doing? That's unreal, that's so strong. Right, Be brave, Shazza, let's get over. And we can stop in the heart cairn. Up on the hills there are stone. All the bilberries are starting to poke their heads. Stone shelters for walkers. And I think we're going to go and have a look at one. It is very slippy. The ground is peat, which is rotted reeds. It's like a sponge. Dan, how you doing? Angie, good morning. Angela, it feels like it at the moment. Almost there. Now we're going to dip down into the valley. Rick, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in, you. Look at you too, thanks for coming. Homeless in America, you're right. Let's go. Oh, more grouse flying up very quickly. That wind taking them. Oh, loads more grass I just put up. I've not seen any deer tracks yet, but they should be on lower ground. So they'll be in the bottom of the valley there, which we kind of follow. How you doing, homeless? And that hill is in a cloud. Fabulous. It's blown off this one, thankfully. Darlene, how are you doing? Right, stop dawdling and get to the top. I'm interested to see sorry, how deep the little tarns are up here. We had a very dry spring and summer, and there was just no water anywhere. You're right, Sparky, PA. I mean, I live about 5 miles away, and you can see these from where I live. I'm looking for grouse heads. There's likely going to be grouse shelter in here as well. And there is the I'm getting blown all over. There's the top of the cairns. Some of these are 7 foot high. But you can see them all the way through the valley. And we've got the trig point in the back for the surveys. It's the highest point on this hill. I'll just get behind one of the cairns. But this is Cumbrian winter, isn't it fabulous? It's catching my breath. I'm going to get behind on the big ones. Because I lose signal in the heart. So we're going to get a nice fat cairn to get behind. I'll show you the shelter first. Hang on. Hey, that's it. This one will do. So we've got a heart-shaped shelter on here. If I go down in it, I'm going to lose signal. I'm going to dive across there and get under that big one. Look at the colour of my hands. That wind is unreal. But yeah, these were started by a local. That one's actually toppled. And all the walkers add to it every time they come through. Alec, how you doing? Mayhem and Miracles, how you doing? It's me, Angie is lovely. If you haven't been over to Angie's house, check her out. See, we've got a bit of sun coming through, but I don't think it'll last long with the way these clouds are moving. They're moving so fast. Right, I apologise for any wind, and I'm going to dive over there. It nearly took me out. That's better. Ah, Altress, how you doing? Twin Tower, nice to see you. Now that is a mole that I want to do. That is Croglin. It's got a really big tower on the top. Can't quite zoom in enough for you to see. And it's a grind. You have to come in from that side and hit it up that back to get to that top. I also want to do, and it'll be getting done is in spring, is the hill behind there that's in the mist, which is Coldfell. Aptly named. Philosopher, I love it up here. It's been shouting my name all morning to come up. Hello Michigan, how you doing? But the hill, the clouds are just grazing the clouds, the hills even. Bat, how you doing, Bat? Bat, I'm getting blown over up on the hills. Hang on, I'll take you on the other side as well. These, look, I'm 5'8", and I would have to really push my hand up to get up there. Yeah, I've done all right. Yeah, Dodge. This is a prime example of why stone walls exist up here. This stone is just under the surface, and it's the best building material around to use in these areas. I mean, you don't get woods, you don't get forestry up in the hills. So all these walls are from these indentations in the ground. They just scrape the top off, and there's a stone. Like these, I don't know if you can see through. See the gaps of sunlight? They aren't held together with anything apart from just being stacked, and they're stacked in a certain way. The air can get through them, so they don't need secured. They just stand all by themselves. And if it does topple over a couple of 100 years, it's easy to build back up. But it's a dying trade. Old Man King, good morning, how are you? So our plan is, we're going to dip into the valley at the back of this hill, and we're going to have the wind, in theory, at our backs. So we should be reasonably protected. Yeah, there's a trig point. Normally, spring and summer, I don't like getting too close to these because the stone's the warmest place up here, and the adders like the warmth, and I don't do snakes at all, and they're the only venomous snake in the UK. Now, I'll tell you what I also want to do. I want to do that valley. You see the water coming down that hill? I want to do that valley, but I'm struggling to find footpaths. So I might have to go and beg some landowners. Mark, how you doing? Sorry, didn't see you there, Mark. How are you? Thanks for coming in. My fingers are frozen. Here, I am not doing a Del Boy. There's an old UK comedy called Only Fools and Horses, and it's just brilliant. I was brought up on it. It's one of the funniest things going. And in one episode, one of the brothers is sent up on a hang glider and he gets lost, and it's hilarious. I'm great, Mark. I'm just hiding from the wind up here. If I went up in a hang glider and I just got no idea where I'd end up. T-Bird, how you doing? Oh, I was regretting my choices as I was coming up the hill. And this is the storm meant to have died down. I just saw a raindrop. But all these little ones, the new ones that are being built, you can see these ones that I'm behind for miles around. Miles and miles around, and there's loads of them. And some of the little ones have actually grown really quick. Stormy, I love it up here. Absolutely love it. For all it's wild, and I've nearly been falling over and getting an ice cream headache from the wind. Saw some hawks when I came in. I've had it's in about 15 grouse. Wick, the valley that we're going into is gorgeous. That little puddle, wind. That little puddle just there is where the ducks are. Yeti, how you doing, Yeti? That's where my quacks are. We're right above that. We've got what I presume was a farm or possibly a homestead. Can you see? Wait, hang on. There. Finger, where are you? These trees line an enclosure. And there's a lot of earthworks around here, so I presume it was a homestead there. As well as the limestone that was taken away to the quarries, with the quarry sites and the lime kilns to make lime from the building and whitewash. You also had a lot of coal mines up here. It was very industrial. And where we're heading down to, we're going to be following a train line to a lime quarry. In theory, if we can get down there. We've had a small deer, I heard a deer, does in a book, roe deer, which are the US and Canada's version of a whitetail, but a lot smaller. They're the deer breed that we get in this area. You have to head further north to get the big red deer. But bear with me as I get over this hilltop in this ridiculous wind. Ooh, I'm getting blown over already and I've hardly moved. Should quieten down a lot as we get over the fence. So there's a second shelter just here. We've got the heart shelter that I was showing you before. And you can see there that the limestone, it just shears under the ground. So you have to do very little work to get the pieces that you need for your shelters and for your wall. and take it away for your line kilns. Come round this way. So out that way we've got Northumberland. I grew up just over the horizon in Northumberland, one of the most beautiful counties in the country. Someone's starting off a new little cairn. Now, what is that? What is that there? Can't tell. The deer have probably moved to lower ground, but it's not going to stop me loving because I love them. No, there's a black cat had been spotted on the other side of Carlisle a few years ago, but there's not been any reports for a long time now. I spent spring and summer watching a young buck down in this valley, and it was lovely to see that he had his own little herd. I'd hoped he might stay around, but they're so wild up here, there's no cover for them, so they will head to lower ground. And just like that, that wind's easing. This is one of the best and biggest stars I've ever come across, this one. It is huge. I've got some wildlife cameras and I should put them up. We've had a deer through the back. And I'll show you in here. Can you see the gaps? Through, all the way through the wall. So the wind isn't putting pressure on the stone. Have we got any? Oh, that looks horrible. What have we got on the back here? Have we got anything hiding out in corners? No. There you go. We've done that tarn before, we've walked around that. And this valley, from that tarn all the way along, is one of my favourite places here. Let me get out of the wind. Oh crap, we've got cows. Damn it. We've got fresh cow prints. Fabulous. Right, where are they? Me and cows don't get on. They have a horrible habit of chasing me. Or going to chase me. And they've been sheltering up here out of the wind. Right, if I get round this corner as a bull, I'm off. I apologise for any language that may come out of my lips. But I've got a bit of a cow thing. Don't mind cows through a fence, but as they've got very hard-haired hooves, weigh like a ton and can run at 30 miles an hour, I'm not exactly a fan. And that's highly fresh. Oh God, there's big uns and all. Shh, in case there's a cow. Please don't be here. I can't see any. Don't be sat down out the corner. Please don't be. Yes. Right. They're here somewhere. But this patch of land goes right the way back and over, and it comes down into the quarry that I was wanting to take you to. And that, oh, I can see them. Ooh. Damn it. Moo cows around there. Hemi, I know, if you like cattle, go check out Hemis. Hemi, I don't mind them if there's a fence. I don't mind them at all. I'll go pat their heads. I won't particularly like getting slurped on. But not when there's not a fence. Can't see for my hair. I'm seeing lots of cow, but I'm not seeing any deer prints as yet. And I can't see my little tarn down the bottom. Porthos, how you doing? Challenging, you alright? Fishing? Sorry if I missed anybody. I know, sorry I was whispering. They scare me, and I don't like the fact that they come stick their ears up and start marching towards me. I don't give them the opportunity to find out whether they're nice and kind or what. Hi, Yuzovsky. Someone's had the dog up here, just checking those prints. The peat, these moors are full of peat, and it's like a sponge. It's all this heather and moss. The moors are mainly heather, moss. You get some grasses, reeds, and that's pretty much it. The farmers started allowing sheep on the moors, which changed them. It killed off the heather, and it was turning them into grasslands. Gaza, yeah, Northern Pennines. The lakes is just on the horizon over there. I'm north east Cumbria, not far off Northumberland. Right, we'll just have a nose for deer down in here. This is where I saw him last. But this is used as for fires. Well, it was used for fires, and that was another industry up on the moors until quite recently. It was taken off, cut into chunks, dried out, and it burns long, pretty smokeless and hot. So it was the ideal fuel source. Now it's being more protected. It's changing the ecology by taking that out. She's a little git, Kirsty, to put it politely. She's chewed the back of my walking boots, the little tab on the back. Gaza, I'll leave it up here. Cow tipping Friday, behave. I'm not getting any clue how close to a cow to start tipping. I didn't know I had a phobia of cows, you know, until I came up to one in a field. And on the moors. Now, have you heard that? Where is he? We've got a grouse on here shouting. Bigger than a pheasant. Dark red bird. That is very camouflaged on the moors. For all the camouflaged and for all... There's another one calling back. For all... They're the main food source. They're not the brightest, they're very, very vocal birds. So they're easy to find for the hawks. He's teasing me, he's there. I just can't quite pinpoint him. Very, very hardy bird. They live and grow through the shoots, the new shoots on the heather, and we have a lot of bilberries on here. I'll find you some further down. But they're easy pickings for the hawks. As you said, there's nowhere to hide but the heather. You just don't get trees up here at all. It's just not the environment for trees. Ooh, heck, I nearly fell over. That was a nice little slide. That grouse is teasing me. Midnight Rider, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Let's get down here through all this highly boggy peat. For the people up here, the dangers are the weather, the ground that you're on. Oh, we've got a grouse. He sits and calls on there. That's his territory. Animal-wise, the only danger really is the cows. The weather can get you. It changes in seconds up here. And then you've got peat bogs. Now the peat, you'll have areas that look like solid ground, but actually you're floating and you can fall through. People that have lost dogs, like, hang on, oh, sorry, looking for cows, fall through the peat bogs and can't get back out. I've had known friends fall waist deep and have to be pulled out. There's a cow come very fast down here. Those footprints, hoof prints even. I love this valley. So this hill I've done, this is Simmerson. Frente, thank you very much for coming in. This is Simmerson, I've walked this one before. The valley just behind it is full of coal mines, railways and quarries. For all there's nothing here back in the day. This was a very industrial area. We're going to head dear. Where are you, my little friend? There. 1, 2, 3. Right, we found my herd. At the moment, I can only see 3 deer. See the whitetails? If you don't see them head on, or those tails, you're not going to see them. 1, 2, 3. There should be 4. Oh, we've got a grouse flying up as well. We're missing a deer. Odds are it's not far away. There's a grouse under my feet. PPR, you alright? I'm just watching my deer. Looking for where number 4 is. Oh, they've heard me. I'm upwind, you see. Should be able to track them all the way through the valley now. And they're having a look at me. Still can't see number 4. They're heading down along the track. I think they might have just picked up number 4. At least I know that his little herd is doing okay. Midnight, I am in northern England, close to the border with Scotland. I love that valley, love it. I've walked that hill. On the top there, the shelter, the stone shelter on there is shaped like a couch. But it's a pain to get to. I kind of had an issue. There's a boulder field all up that side, which wasn't fun. Scott, you go get yourself to bed. Sweet dreams. You alright, Goo? My dear, I stood just there. Still see those white backsides. Glad to see he's okay. I'd expected him to take the girls down to lower ground. But this, oh, here you go, hang on. Here's the one on the right. He's a good size, he's a lovely lad. He's just stood watching me. We're missing a doe. Normally he's got 3 does with him, so we're down one. Question is, where is she? What a backdrop to them. See, they're just hanging around. They're quite tolerant of me. But not many people come up here. As I was filming them, I don't know if you heard, there was about 6 grouse got up between me and them, which got my deer walking on. Yeah, they're just staying. I'm surprised because the wind's blowing from me straight to them. They're just grazing away. Hopefully, be able to see some of his fawns in spring. Is that number 4? No, I thought I'd saw it. Oh, is it? No, it's the wind and the heather playing tricks on me. Still just 3. Good evening, Goo. I'll see if I can get past the town. Usually I have a lot of grouse on this bank, facing this way. I need to waterproof my boots. My feet are getting wet, my toes are a bit stiff. If I'm quiet, I should be able to come round my deer. Gotta get a bit closer to them. Just hide you from the wind a little bit. And I'm not gonna risk those cattle. Not happening. Right. Gotta get across here. Where is the question? I can't see any way that I'm not gonna get wet. How's you, PPR? How's your world? Ooh, I'm gonna get wet. Back down and around. That hill is nicely hiding us from the wind. We're nice and sheltered. Next week, it looks like we've got snow coming. We're back down to -6 Celsius and maybe 2 or 3 degrees during the day. Right, let's see how big this tarn is and if I can get past it. And we'll go a little bit further on. Right, if I see a cow that's gone over that ridge, so we'll pick them up on the way back round. I'm going to come to this corner. And then we're going to head back towards those deer and back along the valley. Just looking for tracks. Midnight, I answered you. Midnight, I am in Cumbria, the northern part of England, close to the border with Scotland. Sorry, I answered you before. Sorry you didn't hear that. But I did answer you. How you you doing, Zaxon? We've got calves in here. The deer waited until I was at the side. It didn't matter that I was up downwind. It turns out. Now we're on what was a train track leading from the lime quarries to a lime kiln further along the valley. Outlaw, how you doing? Sorry, Outlaw, I didn't see you. I'm tracking deer. Midnight, it is freezing up here. That wind chill is around about freezing, I would say, if not lower. But this is a railway track. Hugs this hill, comes around the corner, and it drops down into a quarry. This way, I found a limestone kiln, which is where that would have been transported, as with the coal. Those limestone kilns, they had to have coal. They needed heat to heat the stone up to create that lime. Star Homestead, thank you very much for coming in. How are you? Check out Star Homestead, brilliant channel. Right, you too. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Now, I might lose you a little bit on this corner, but know that I'm running around the corner while sliding and going very deep in peat to pick you up again. It doesn't like the water in this tarn at all, signal-wise. Drives me mad. MT, how are you doing? Good morning. How's life in Oklahoma? In Cumbria, it's cold. Very cold. Zaxon, I was looking at all the snow in California. Wow. I was watching a snowplow and the snow was taller than the snowplow. Now that is some snow and some moisture level. But how much of California is getting that water? It is about 1:30, I think, for me, India. 1:30 in the afternoon. And it's very cold. MZ, how you doing? So here's that little town I was talking about. Now, that's one of the only water source house for the deer, for the curlews, for the woodcocks, and it was dry in spring, which is really unheard of. There you go. See how low those clouds are? I feel like I could just touch them. They're grazing the hill that we've just been over. I'll just leg it away. Ooh, wet feet. Spooky, how you doing? Hang on. This is minging. And I'm sinking on a peat bog, which isn't great. There, that's a bit better. So, I'm in the middle of nowhere, really high up in the hills. I get amazed that I get signal up here. But I also hate it when I drop signal. These clouds are. And it's not pleasant. There's a came over the top and headed back down into where that cloud is. No, let's try and shield you a bit. That should do it. Alright, we should pick deer up in a second, hopefully. Hopefully heard that, that's a grouse. Jamie, that doesn't answer anything. It's not the answer, son. They're going back up on the top of there. There is a limestone. That grouse is really close. Very noisy birds. And they do really blend into the background, but they just let you know they're there. They're not the brightest sparks in the world. Can you hear the shooting? Shotguns. The shot can't travel this far, I'll be fine. Job's a good one. We've got a really funny sounding high-pitched grouse up there. It sounds very high-pitched. Right. This isn't going to end well. I'm going to get wet. Loads of grouse through here. There's a grouse right in front of me. Grouse are a little bird. Oh no, they're about the same size as a chicken. But dark brown. Happily, I've not seen any hawk kill sites on the way up. The last time I was here, there's been a lot of grouse hit by the hawks. Feathers, piles everywhere. I mean, a lot of grouse are getting hit. Today, I've not seen any, which is good for the grouse numbers. Oh, it's not Friday the 13th, is it? Oh, fabulous. Right, so this is where the deer were before, and I'm hoping they've moved just across this ridge. She says, trying to look for them, trying not to slip in cow doo-doo. Shows you how high I am, Yeti. Right up to cloud level. I love this place. I love this place. Dog buzzards mainly. We've got kites are about, how far are kites away? About 30 miles. There's the crow flies, sparrowhawks. We've got a lot of sparrowhawks up here, but mainly buzzards. No star. It's seen as bad luck. Friday the 13th. Dear, where are you? You were here. I think they've just dropped over this ridge. We'll have a look. Bit of a superstition star. Hopefully I've not pushed them too far over. And we get a sighting of them again down here. A bit. I've got a video of them when the signal dropped then, and there's still only 3. Still just 3. But there is another buck, another stag close by. An older stag. So whether one of the does has gone off with him, I don't know. How fast those clouds are moving. The grouse with the tack, 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 tack. and a bit like a quack. Now some grouse landed on here, just above this little brow. Really homeless. Homeless me, emails on my about page, drop us an email. I don't know if you can hear that shooting. There's a pheasant shoot on. Grouse season stopped a while back, and it's pheasant shooting season until February the 1st. So the last of them. Those deer have either hunkered down, I expected them through here. Another grouse call them, but they're not here. When you see the roe deer, they're really, really red close up, and you wouldn't really expect them to be the colour they are because they blend in so well. It's either the ears on the horizon or those white tails that you see them by. Where are you hiding? Right, no arguing in chat. Total drama-free zone. This is minging. This will be interesting getting around. Ooh. It's deep too. The shotguns have probably spooked my deer. So I'll give a look just over this ridge, because you've got a pair of grouse just landed on there. They're very good at making me jump out of my skin, because now I'm like, oh, where do I go? Deer. Just in there. Ooh, a finger. Just there. Just saw the back of one walk into there. So we're going to catch them on the top. It was very low, but it can't be a cat, surely. Right, we're going to pay attention in here. Where you sat? Grouse sat on there. Where are you? See being zoomed in? Oh, there we go. And there's a grouse. Again, just bigger than a chicken. Very, very strong tasting meat, very gamey meat from the food that they eat. Got loads of them in this little valley. They're all sheltering out of that wind. That can't be. Right, we're going to watch inside here. There's something in there. Can't be a cat, can't possibly be. It's got to be those deer, but very low down. There must be a little gully. And only one. Trying not to fall in gloop. No, you couldn't. Ooh, 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 ooh. Peat is very, very dark. It's almost black. It's just so porous and it really holds that water well. As well as when it's dry, it burns nice and hot. Homeless, what's the weather like there at the minute? Right. So what's my dear? They're heading up to where we're going, which is good. You never know, they might have picked up number 4. We were just down there in the base of that hill, along that track that was a railway line. I can't stay too quiet for the glooping of my feet. I'm going to have to watch this back to see exactly what that was I just saw. By right, it should be on this ridge. I can't see it. Got you. It was, my dear. And it's there. Just on that line in the middle of the screen. It's my deer, one of my deer. So they're moving down to the next valley. There must be a really tight little gully on here. Tatty, how you doing, Tatty? Giraffe, thank you for coming in. I only saw one deer going through there. The others are possibly on the other side of the hill. Ooh, we're heading into clouds. The clouds are just grazing this hilltop. Nice one, MT. Hopefully the wind's dropped on this side of the valley. Because that wasn't fun before. Not fun whatsoever. I love this place, love it. Look at that one. Clouds sat on top. Right, let's go. Oh, God. Doesn't that look just so inviting? Not. That's minging. Right, let me get up. Looks like the deer have been this side. Possibly. That gateway is back in the day for the sheep. The sheep are bound up here now, letting the moors repair themselves. Let's head around the corner a little bit. But we're pretty much inside a cloud. With any luck, Mary J, how you doing? I love it, Mary J. So all the hills have these trigonometry points. On the highest point for them to take measurements and attach their equipment to. And they all have their own number. There's your mount. And this one is number S6507. So we're right on the very crown. Bud Files, how are you doing? Sue, have you got snow? I might get snow next week, I'm all excited. And there's the cairns again. And you can just see how far down in the valley and why that you can just see them for miles and miles around. I've not put a stone on one, have I? I'll take you past, I'll take you to the heart. The walk is sheltered. Oh, we are in a cloud. We're in the midst of a cloud. How cool's that? No one will be able to see me down below. Edge of this cloud's just coming over, passing. Right. Here's the heart. Oh, someone's built the side up. It started to topple a little bit, so someone's been back. So I can put that wind. I need to pick a stone up to go and put on one. Let me get down here. God, which one shall we go to? Oh, sorry about that wind. I'll go on here. I love it. On a good day, you can see out to sea. You've got the Lake Districts just there, which is a World Heritage Site in the range of mountains. Wolf, how you doing, Wolf? You alright, Chris? Good morning, how's you? Vanished, how you doing, Vanished? Vanished, I'm freezing my backside off on top of a hill. And that is no understatement. You should be sheltered on the way down because you're on my left. There should be a fair few grouse on the way back down. That one's a bit heavy in the middle. But the wind can't move them because of those gaps through. It just runs clean through them, like the stone walling. Here's another trench that they've used to build the stone walls, and another one. All the hilltops will be peppered with places like this, where they've just scraped the top and taken the stone to build the walls and shelters and little homesteads. I'm trying to shelter, I'm kind of walking sideways. We're still in the edge of a cloud. This is the one that's just past us that we're in. I had a phone call here one day from a school teacher, and 6 foot in front of me up flew a grouse, being very, very noisy, and I swore. I felt awful. Johnny, how you doing? I have a couple more cairns as we head down. But I've pointed this place out from that little pond below us, just where we're going to feed the ducks. Oh, fabulous, I can feel drip drops of rain. It's what you get for being in clouds. The ground's almost like walking on a trampoline because it holds that moisture. It's really spongy and bouncy. You never know my luck. My deer might have come round and be round the base of this hill. I have seen him here before, so you never know. And it's a big drop down as we come from this hill. Zaxton, if I got a parasail out today, I think, oh, grouse. Got a flock of grouse just flown down into there. Nice to get healthy, but I think if I was on a parasail, I'd be over that hill in the middle of the screen and down past the water. I'd say there's about 10, 12 grouse there. And they've just come over this crest, so they're going to drop it. We're going to set them up again. This is where it starts to get steep and it's a little bit dicey under feet. Now we've got a mine on that side there. See the change in the land? And there's piles of coal and shale on this side as we get down, further down the hill. Johnny, a bit iffy. I'm trying to be really, really, really gentle with it. This is the most pressure I've put it under. It wasn't too good in Krakow. Mornings in Krakow, I was a bit scared that I was toast. But you know what it's like when you're not in your own bed. I walked, 20 miles over 2 days? And a lot of that was underground, believe it or not, in that salt mine. Tomorrow, about 10 a.m. GMT, I've got a premiere up of Down the Salt Mine. That salt mine is unbelievable. There are 2 churches down there, and I filmed the second church. And unbelievable. Everything was made from salt, even the chandeliers, the crystals in the chandeliers. I think each one has 3,000 salt crystals on them. Just beautiful. So I finally got my... Oh, grouse. There you go, you got a good old look at a grouse there. Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. That's the problem. Time differences. I'm terrible at working out time differences. Ooh. It's just a short one, I think it's only about 6 minutes long. But chandeliers, the miners, a lot of the carvings and statues in there, the sculptures, were made by the miners. And you've got figures, you've got depictions like the Last Supper, you've got Mary and Joseph, you've got altars, you've got deities. Unbelievable. And it dates back, I think, the mine to about the 1200s. Dodge, yes, they have. I was a bit nervous coming into this side because they've been in here before. Getty, thank you so much for coming in. Have a good one. So the stone up the top will have been used possibly for these walls, although we have got a couple of trenches here. Likely. Oh, wreck, and he fell. If I hadn't have gone to fall over, I could have shown you some curlews. Curlews are in decline in the UK, but happily up here, we've got big numbers. They're chicks, they're ground birds as well. And they nest on the ground like the grouse. And the chicks are like little balls of cotton wool, little fluffy white balls, beautiful little things. Just watching them. Oh, look. We have a rainbow. Part of one anyway. If I could stop being brushed over. I don't think any more of it's going to form. Oh, we've got part of a rainbow. The weatherman was telling me lies. This storm was meant to have gone by now. I know. Unfortunately, where the end of it is another hill that I want to walk, but when we get over the top and down a little bit, I'll show you the way up to it and what's putting me off doing it, because it looks like it would be absolutely miserable. This hill's a grind. I mean, my car's a little dot down in the bottom, but that one, I would hate every second. My legs would take a while to get woken up to get up it. And you lot would have a lot of heavy breathing while I tried. Yeah, I'll zoom out because I go all bouncy. And I'm trying to protect you from the wind. I really am trying. Yeah, Dodge, they're really low. We were inside one before. We were physically inside it on where the trig was that we've just been. Oh, that rainbow's stretching. It's getting a little bit longer. So I had that flock of grouse land just down in here. I like the grouse that call and fly off when you're away from them. It's the ones that wait until you're literally about to stand on them. They give me a heart attack. They bug me. Cass, what's it like down there? Have you had all the rain as well? It's still flooded up here. I've come through a couple of floods to get up here. I want to do that hill as well. You can't see the summit because it's in a cloud, but that's another one I want to do. I want to get to the trig point, but I need to plan that one and work out how I'm going to get up it. This we're in is a nature reserve. It was bought and it's managed by the RSPB. Dodge, this was meant to be it calmed down, but last night was bad. There's loads of branches down, and the rain that we've had is unreal. Can't see the sea. Visibility is not good enough. I'm not paying attention to where I'm putting my feet. Look at my whole boots. I need to buy some more boots. I'm wearing these out on the back. But I've done a fair few miles in them. Right, wind, stop blowing me about. If I could hold you still, you'd see a grouse sat on a mound of grass in the back there. It's just dogged its head down. So they're likely going to fly up. When we get to this crest here, I'll show you why I'm put off by doing that hill. Oh, that family of grouse have chosen to duck down and hide rather than fly up, which is sod's law because I knew where they were. Dodge, that dog's a nightmare. She's lost her last baby canine tooth, so I'm hoping she stops chewing, but she's going through the phase. She's like Donkey off Shrek, you know, with the big teeth. She's so funny, but she's a chewer, that dog. So there's a walk up this fell that we're opposite that takes you up along the side of that mine, but you have to follow wind behave. So you've got this track to that house and it brings you across and along. Now that track is pretty much vertical. I mean, that wall is pretty much vertical. Secret Blackburn, you alright? Secret, I found my deer. That young buck that I was watching is still here and he's got through 2 does. I couldn't see the third. The herd's gone from 2, so from 4 down to 3. I tracked him along and I pushed him back over and I can't see number 4. But there is that older buck along where the line quarry is, so she's maybe splintered off and gone with the older fella rather than my young one. Now, if he was playing nice, he could be down the bottom of this hill as we get down, and you can see how steep it is. You can also feel how wild it is. I wish I could bottle up. Ooh, what's that? I haven't noticed that before. Can't work out if that's a segment of the wall or if you've had another building there. But yeah, so the walk that I want to do on that one to get the views over that side, I mean, that house is a little dot and that track is like vertical, and the thought of walking that or having to walk up that bank up against the wall is a bit like Ron was saying before. Yeah, you could paraglide it in this kind of weather. I think the deer have gone back along. Try and cover you a little bit. This is a bit I don't like. It starts to get a bit dicey under your feet. Ooh, the cows have made your steps, but these steps aren't regular. Some of them are huge. Ooh, the winds get me. And some are tiny. And some are highly slippy. Johnny, thank you so much for coming in. You're a star. See you Tuesday, Johnny. If you haven't been over Johnny's, go check him out. He's a good guy. I would hate to live on that hill. Dale, I think she would eat it more. She's a Labrador and she is the worst for chewing and constantly looking for trouble that I've ever had. She's a real little live wire is with her. Oh, this is where it gets dodgy. Right, hang on. I'm not watching chat, I'm just watching where I put my feet. Ooh, heck. Ooh. I nearly span around on the top. You alright, Queen? Let me get down this bit. This path becomes a river in the rain. Oh, happy days. The wind's dropped a little bit. La sunshine for all of about 2 seconds. Oh dear, come down this way. Queen, he was on the channel that he's in chat with now, his second channel. If you haven't got that one, go over, sub it up and ring the bell and then you'll get notifications. But I didn't get a notification for this morning. I messaged him. My poor boots. I mean, they're just... Dale, send me some of your heat and your sunshine. Mary, I'll look them up. I'll have a look, see if I can find some. I wanted some leather boots for this winter, but I just never got around to getting them. Oh, cool. Oh, I nearly fell over. Right, big, oh, I'll go on the side. Got a lovely piece of quartz out of that bank before. Quite big as well for up here because everything's normally so tiny. Always out on the moors woods, and he had some about calf length kangaroo skin boots, and he said they're the most comfortable and just best boots that he had. So I was trying to find myself some of those as well. Very, very soft, but very waterproof. There's a grouse right behind me, but I can't turn around because you won't hear or see anything. I'll be bouncing around in the wind. Oh, it's dropped a little bit. The wind is dropping. I had a bit of a worry on as I started up. It's the little bits of metal on the fence. I can hear them clinking. I was trying to work out what it was. I mean, look how steep that is that we've just come up. Down, not up. I went up on my own before. There's a grouse over here. And I can't see him, but I can hear him. They tend to keep in their territory. If you scare them, they will fly up and they will fly off, but they do tend to stay in their own territory. Normally I hear a lot on that hill. Dodge, after that last time that my back went, I'm being so careful because it's scary. I mean, I've had issues with it since I was a kid, since I was like 16. But that time, that really scared me because it totally floored me. I couldn't even stand up, I couldn't walk, I couldn't get up. It was bad. And it's where it's been fused up, and I know it can put pressure on the bones above and below where they fuse it. So I'm nursing it back bit by bit. But cold fell is one of my targets for this year. Hopefully late spring, weather dependent. Should be able to get up there. I'm going to push myself, stop being lazy, and I'm going to do that one. For all it looks absolutely miserable. I am so happy that I came across my deer today. I've been watching him since spring. And he's got his own little herd. Just hope that last doe's okay. But she's likely off with that other buck, I would say. So here we get the spoils. We come into the spoil heaps of here. I've not really found anything other than mining area, any details about this bit, but it happens a lot up here because it's just in the middle of nowhere. You've got sandstone, Angela, you've got limestone, you've got quartz, you've got bits of coal in, and then you've got the heather and the peat. The soil just further up is just black. I mean, look how blue that is. That iron in there. You get a lot of iron in the stone here. A lot of it. We've got... Let me see if I can pick it up. Look at that. Look how green and blue that is. No idea which kind of rock it is, but it's green, really green, like grass green and blue. SSC, thank you for watching coming in. How are you? So I'd like to know what that is. And the white through it. Focus. It's not white, it's shiny yellow. Yeah, Mary, it would. Most definitely would. Where's that piece of quartz that I picked up before? Is it in this same pocket? No, but there's a pound coin. Here's an example. You've got that lovely green, but look at that iron in there. So much iron through it. Okay, how you doing? But again, that lovely green. And we're going to come into the coal and slag piles down here. Just below, oh, there it is. Nice little piece of quartz for up here. And again, see the iron through there. A lot of metal in that. It's actually really heavy. See those veins through it. I'm not used to seeing bigger pieces of quartz like that. What is that? Oh, another piece of quartz with a lot of metal through. And this is, it's like a piece of lime, but again, look at the metal. There's so much metal in it. And lots of limestone. So here are those waste all the way down. And then you've got the remains of that building just over there. And I'll just come down here and I'll just turn my back. A rubbing against the plastic. I don't know if the US or Canada that you use do that to protect your trees. Oh, brilliant. You're going to have loads of fun, Angela. So this is all waste piles at the bottom of this hill. And it's from there. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, Angela. And then we've got a building around this side. Signal, let me go. And we've got a terrace on the hill there. Oh, some of the walls come down a bit more on that back bit. So we've got rubbed out walls. The moles showing us a little bit of what's under the ground. Moles and rabbits are fabulous for that. They dig up the spoil and you get to know what's there. So we had a decent sized building here, maybe 8 foot by 20 foot. So we've got a wall here, returns here and comes back there, and you've got that back room. And then we've got down here, if signal will let me. Yeah, signal's not liking me down in there. And the remains of this building is right. A terrace that goes all the way around there. Climb this old wall. And then earthworks along the bottom. You've got a terrace along that side. Down up that little bridge. And these remains here. And the rest of the building work. Oh, get over the wall, I can still feel it under my feet. You've got some of the block work from what was over here. And a wall. I just love it up here. Even when it's ooh, Dodge, that sounds interesting. Very interesting. So even when it's giving me a nice grim headache because the wind's that cold, I love it. That. So it's a bit cold. So as I head into spring, I'm probably going to do that one. I'll bite the bullet and I'll do it because I do want to get up there. The building with 2 rooms to it. There's tree. The building with 2 rooms to it. There's trees in a room, and just past it there's another. Trees in a room, and just past it there's another. And there's also mice living in here. I was just watching it, I was screwing through all the different holes because it's just a pile of now. There's lots of spaces in between it. So people, that is about me. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about the wind. Mary, thank you. It's another place that I love. I do. Same as the old church with the otters living at the back next to the river. I love it down there. I can't believe I didn't get wet. Tupac, how you doing, Tupac? So people, Fishing Frustrations, how you doing? This is me about to go. I wanted to check that out, but I know what it is. It's the little river that we've just been under, the little beck. That drops down into the beck, I think. That might be where that water starts. So thank you all so much for coming. I'm going to try and make my fingers work so I can get in the car because they're kind of feeling numb. And I'll see you all around and about. But thank you for keeping me company. Love the lot of you. So I'll see you later on. I've got a premiere tomorrow, 10 a.m. and it's the main church. It is St Kinga. It's the patron saint of miners, St Kinga's Church in the salt mine. So see you, Leo. Thanks for coming in. Ooh, we've got someone walking. And I'll see you all soon. Bye now.